Welcome to the Roald NewsCast for December 1st, 2018.
Today we're talking Pokemon Go updates.
Daredevil has been moved.
And Netflix gets another new series.
We'll tell you what it is about.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Roald NewsCast.
Welcome to the Roald NewsCast for December
1st.
Still December.
The countdown is on to Christmas.
In my mind, the countdown started on November 12th. So
yeah,
like I don't care until November 11th or after November 12th. Everything's fair game for me.
Yeah.
You know what? I honestly, I get the time off, so that part's nice. But really, Christmas now is, our house is decorated. It's nice.
When is your time off? I don't
Right, we go, to the 21st.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that day is, that Friday.
Cool.
We're still there.
So
then I get time off after
As am I.
Yeah.
As am I, basically.
So, that part's nice. But.
No, welcome, yes. Welcome. Cool. Welcome to the world's greatest podcast.
All the nerd news you need to know is right here as we talk about movie and game news.
Probably mostly those.
From the past week.
Week or so, yes.
Yes. Because I was all by myself last week, so I gave my opinions on stuff, so I guess if we are running short, we can,
we'll just do stuff.
Hop back to some of that jazz, but
no, I think
all in all,
we'll move on.
Get ourselves going with some Pokemon Go update news.
Right, so Pokemon Niantic has been teasing PvP for quite some, well, they haven't teased it for quite some time. They've mentioned that it's on their slate of things for Pokemon Go. And yeah, starting on Friday, they started posting stuff to their social media. It was really, really confusing until we saw, literally, it was a trainer getting ready to battle.
Yeah.
Which means battles are coming. Training battles are coming, I think sometime next week.
Now, my big question is this. Do we know how they're going to function?
Poorly.
That is my opinion. That's my thought process. But
poorly.
Because Pokemon Let's Go has such a good vibe to it. It's just a Pokemon fight.
Yes.
Select your moves, do your thing.
Right. So
Pokemon Go, whenever you're in a gym battle or whatever, it's
any form of battle, right? So it's gonna be an interesting take on what it is gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate it being any 4-move complicated stuff. I think they're still gonna do the turn-based thing. The information that they have announced about how the battle systems are going to work is going to be separated into 3 separate leagues. So it's going to be the Great League, the Ultra League, and then the Master League. And basically what separates them all is the total CP combined of the Pokemon that you're bringing into the battle. So if on the Great League, the total amount of CP you're allowed, I think it's 1,500. And then the Great League, I think it's 2,500. And then the Master League, it's unlimited, anything goes.
Yeah.
So you can, max out all your Pokemon and kind of go into that. It also looks like you're only going to be able to use 3 Pokemon in a battle, which it's fine. I don't care. Honestly, it doesn't really make a huge difference. No. If you were going to do 6-on-6, it would take
a while.
A while, especially for something like Pokemon Go.
You want to be kind of go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all they've really talked about so far. I know some of the staff members over at IGN had they were sent to a preview event with Niantic, and they have an idea of they're gonna have a write-up sometime next week.
Right, once the NDAs and all that stuff are over and that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's my thought process. Is Pokemon Let's Go has kind of opened up the Go series to a lot of cool features.
I'll be interested to see what they do. If it's just tapping, I don't think I'll.
No.
Well, okay, if it's tapping with strategy, maybe.
If it's just tapping, well, I'll do it because I'll win. Because there's a lot of people who
don't know how to do the tap.
Yeah, they can't tap that quick.
Right.
I can.
Well, will your phone be able
You've got
to detect all the taps?
You've got more than one digit. You just do this.
I get that, but there's a lot of people who still like. I remember
who do the thumb.
Who do
thumbs are slow, guys. Thumbs are really slow.
Star Fox Adventures, the dinosaur one that was on the GameCube. There was a mini game in there that you had to do to beat a certain level, and it was like a teeter-totter, and you had to like push down on it. But to do it, you had to press a button really fast, and there were so many people on the internet that were like, "This game is broken. I can't get past this part."
You know what? I can one up you. Have you ever played a game called Chrono Trigger?
Yeah.
With the freaking drinking the soup mini game that was required to get past the game?
Yeah.
I could not do that as a kid. I can do that now.
I can do it now. Well, and see Star Fox 64.
Metal Gear Solid torture sequence.
Yeah. But there's like
basically
once you learned how to do this, there was never an issue with
you like just
anything.
spasm your
Make your hand spasm.
So
that's what Pokemon battling is. I'm going to be a champion.
We don't know yet, but I do believe that they have been working on it for some time.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it's going to be a complete dismal failure because the last few times they've added features to the game,
it's been good.
Yeah, like they've been steady with the
hope really
the trading stuff. It worked really well. The raid battle system worked really well. The new gym overhaul system was great when that came out. Like people still think Niantic's gonna flop it.
The coolest thing I think they could do, and the easiest thing they could do was, if your Pokemon has X amount of moves or whatever, pop them up on the screen, press the button, like make it really easy to press the buttons. Because again, it's not like you have a controller to like, oh, I want to do Razor Leaf with my Venusaur. Have it pop up and be like. Then it does the attack.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have something to do with charging moves, though, I think.
And it might. And that's cool.
Because that's the whole crux of the battle system right now.
Yeah.
Even in the gyms and raid battles. It's all about charging up your second move and just kind of going ham on it.
Yeah. And again, if that's the battle system, I'm probably not going to be...
Which is going to be interesting because what was I thinking about? It's going to change up the meta, too, because some Pokemon are great in gyms.
Yeah.
Some Pokemon are great for taking down gyms, but they're not great in regular battle. Well, now, all those legendary Pokemon that we can't put into gyms, we now have a purpose for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Because, like even Pokemon Let's Go, I've transferred a couple Pokemon over just to test out the system. And they come with moves. It's not like
it assigns you 2 extra moves.
Yeah,
and it rebounds. It doesn't rebalance the CP, but it figures that there's back end stuff in Go that assigns speed and special defense and special attack, things like that.
Yeah,
it just happens to be boiled down to 3 stats in Pokemon Go.
Yeah. So.
That's that. Basically, that was their Friday, and all Friday they were teasing battle stuff.
Yeah.
I think it'll drop sometime on Monday.
I'm assuming whatever the next.
It'll drop sometime around Monday, which is usual for Niantic. It'll be 2 p.m. our time.
Yeah, the Adventure Sync stuff was good too.
All stuff. As of late, they've been on the ball.
I have 2 eggs left.
Yeah.
Like for the first time in my life, I have room for it. I'm like, I need to actually go find some stops again and start spinning because, when we normally take the dog for a walk, we don't go anywhere.
You need to get one of those
near stops.
You need to get one of these. It automatically spins the ball, stops for you.
But that's we don't go anywhere near them when we take the dog for a walk now.
Yeah.
So it's like, fine. One day we went for a walk around the neighborhood, and I'm like. It's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I need stops, yo. Drive slower. When we come back from the walk, we drive by 4 of them, and it's like, drive slower, drive.
And then you don't get an egg. And then you don't get an egg.
Yeah.
You don't get an egg or you don't get a gift.
Yeah, drive slower, darn it.
So, I do I have faith in them this time. I mean, they'll be the button of all the dismal jokes of Pokemon, but I think they're going to pull off the battles.
Again, as long as it's really not just who can tap fastest and who has the most powerful person and can tap fastest.
Well, I mean, when they started revealing the 3 different leagues,
yeah.
I was watching Twitter and people were like, I think the Great League is going to be more competitive than the Master League because it's going to be up to you to manage your CP, like a good set of Pokemon and have it well balanced. If anything, it should be the other way around, where the Master League is like, oh, it's like 1,500 CP, but you still need to beat your opponent.
Yeah.
It's not just using Pikachus.
Yeah.
Pika Pika!
My army of 3 Pikachus versus that army of Mewtwo's.
Yeah.
Go.
I have to catch a bunch of Pikachus. So the cool thing in Pokemon Go is, or Let's Go is, if you transfer 25 of the same Pokemon into the Safari Zone area.
Yeah, don't you get a mini game?
Yeah, there's mini games that you play with them.
Yeah.
Is that only specific for Pikachu and Eevee?
No.
So I can have an army of like
I
Rhydons?
You might be able to, I believe. Because I've transferred 3 in, and I think like Magikarp was one of them. But I took him out of my park because at that point I didn't have Surf yet. So I couldn't catch Magikarps, and I'm like, I want a Gyarados. So I transferred in a Magikarp, and I'm like, cheating the system.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure once I get to Fuchsia City, I'm gonna get my Kanto Dex filled up.
And then that night I got on Pokemon Go, and around my house there's always like one spawn.
Yeah.
And
there's
an event today.
There's an event this weekend.
Yeah. And either way, this thing spawns, an Eevee spawn by my house, because that's what the event was for a while there, was Pikachus and Eevees for Let's Go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shiny Eevee. So I'm like, well, I already have enough shiny Eevees to carry me through the next set that comes out.
Yeah.
So this is just a bonus one. So I threw it into my Pokemon Let's Go game just for fun. So it is one of the Eevees sitting in my park right now. And so I have an Eevee and a Pikachu because I have extras of those. Otherwise, in Pokemon Go, it's like, oh, I have doubles. Get rid.
Well, I'm looking forward to being able to empty my box without transfer.
The nice part is when you transfer them into the Switch game, you still get the candies.
Oh, nice.
So now instead of transferring them to a professor, legit keep them and put them into your Switch.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason not to put them into your Switch.
I ran into a situation yesterday where I was at a raid, and there was probably close to like 30 or 40 people there.
Yeah.
And I bet you like 2 people had the game.
Oh yeah.
And so I was thinking about it, I'm like, I could have just really like monetized on this and said like, hey, you guys want to give me shiny Pokemon? You can get a mystery box for Meltan.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't want to drop $450 just for Meltan.
Yeah.
Or Meltan.
Yeah, I got them.
Well, exactly. Like, people who will get everything are fine, but there are still a huge audience of Pokemon Go players that don't want to get a Switch.
Yeah.
Or don't play games.
Yeah.
Or super casual about it.
Clearly, they don't know Super Smash Bros. Comes out next week.
Yeah.
Exactly, right.
Well, and it's the news reports are saying the Switch is supposed to outsell PS4
Well, yeah,
next
it's projected.
year.
Yeah.
I can totally see that happening.
Well,
as soon as a new Pokemon game even gets announced,
they've got Super Smash Bros. This Christmas.
Yes.
Leading into next year, plus Pokemon next year,
yes.
like the
Metroid 4, Animal Crossing.
Somewhere that Animal Crossing's announced. There's a Yoshi game coming out next year. Like they've got a lot of first-party titles coming out, and it's like,
Yeah, like Nintendo is doing what.
And
Sony
then they
did.
pull off like a Dark Souls type thing, like with the remastered stuff. A couple more of those next year, and they'll be safe.
I'm actually surprised to not see Darksiders 3 on the Switch. I mean, they
got 2 onto the Wii U.
Yeah, that was a huge push. That was a big deal for them because they were like, the Wii U's like launching, and now we have Darksiders 2 on the Wii U, and everyone's like, yeah, this is cool. Like, and then no Darksiders 3 on the Switch. And from my impressions of Darksiders 3,
it could probably run on.
Yes, it's not. It's actually not really a graphically intensive game.
If they wanted to keep the same art style, it doesn't have to be graphic intense.
No.
And I liked that art style. It reminded me of Blizzard almost, like the bigger, bulkier bodies and that kind of stuff going for it. It's like, you guys have done a good job of keeping this simple, but
and I'm very
fun.
So I'm legitimately surprised that it's not launching on the Switch.
Well, and especially again when you have games like Doom and Wolfenstein 2,
Skyrim.
And again, like, yes, you got to tone them down, but you're unlocking so much potential for some other stuff.
Yeah, they still don't look bad. Like, the graphics aren't that, like...
I think the one that takes the biggest hit is Skyrim.
Yeah.
Doom is fine.
And especially...
They still look pretty good.
Yeah, Doom looks amazing.
Yeah, Doom's fine.
And again, Doom in handheld mode?
I'm sure LA Noire looks fine as well.
Yeah.
Probably. Again, I saw it on sale during, Cyber Monday or whatever.
$10.
I'm like,
It was on sale for $10. I was like, I know, I had a good time with it. I know you...
I had a good time with it. It was the interrogations I didn't have a fun time with. And
I love the interrogations.
And only because it's like, watch for his face to change. And I'm like, he twitched. He's clearly lying. And it's like, he wasn't lying. What facial recognition are you reading? And I'm like, he twitched! And it's like, he twitches when he tells the truth. And I'm like, ugh. Who twitches when they tell the truth?
Yes.
I'm a man.
Are you?
I'm wearing a hat. I'm not wearing a hat.
Are you a boy? Are you a girl?
No.
Whose hair is just knit into a nice, like...
Yeah, is that like...
But yeah, it's weird that the Switch is not getting any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future.
And it depends.
Yeah, it could. Well, it depends on how well Darksiders 3 does. Perhaps they dodged a bullet.
And that's the other piece too.
So yeah, hopefully PvP next week sometime. I'm assuming it'll be dropping Monday.
And we'll know about more of it because you'll at least be jumping into that kind of stuff. So.
I'll be into it. I'll be super into it. I hope it's not friend locked either, where it's like you need to have like ultra friends or higher or something stupid.
Yeah, that would be bad.
I can see it being like level 40 people or higher.
I can
see for the first week. I can see that. Yeah. Just to make sure that
the rollout, and I'm fine with them doing the slow rollout for stuff.
That's the right way to do it.
Yep.
Rather than destroy their servers.
Yeah. Well, and we know what happened with that when the game was even not even out yet and available. Like everybody with the APKs, like, oh, why isn't this game working properly? Because at least we had it, and you'd go for a walk, and it's like connecting. Got in.
Yeah.
Yep.
You weren't mad that you couldn't get in. It was like, come on. Yes, got it. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
It froze again. Oh, okay.
I'm surprised for that rollout they didn't like account lock it or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm actually really surprised they didn't account lock it, and then everyone just was able to go in. Cool.
Next up, we have Netflix news for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Yay and nay. Nay and yay? Whichever way we do this.
Yeah, so this happened. Deadpool. Deadpool's new show, written by Donald Glover, is on Netflix now. Nope, the Daredevil
show has been
canceled.
I still have not seen season 3.
I hear it is a step above the rest.
Yep.
The fight scene, the hallway fight scene, apparently
is like
it's not even 2 minutes. It's not like the first one was a minute.
Yeah.
The second one was like 2 or 3 minutes. This one's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they went hardcore.
One long 10-minute fight sequence apparently.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, holy shit, I just want to see that. But then
Now the other part was the guys who did season 3 still were in their writers' room doing.
They were getting ready for it, and then they got the news.
They had season 4 pretty much storyboarded and on the wall.
Oh yeah,
ready to go,
and starting to write the scripts.
And then they got the news.
And then they got the news, and it was like.
Did they say why?
Nope. They'll never say why. We'll never know.
In all honesty, I'm assuming Disney streaming service and that kind of stuff.
I don't think we'll ever see Daredevil on the Disney Plus.
We won't. We might see it on Hulu though.
What I would rather see is for Disney to finally pull up its pants and put some of these characters into the movies.
Or that.
That's my biggest dream.
And I think a big piece depends on where they stick Deadpool, if they stick him anywhere.
Yeah.
And if he can get in with the Disney stuff and in the movies, then you'll see that gateway for Daredevil and the Punisher and those guys in the movies again. Yeah. Blade, because
Blade is a big piece.
They are the darker R-rated type thing.
I would even almost put Ghost Rider in that lot
for sure.
Lot too.
You could like a Marvel Knights series almost, like going in that direction with those darker characters.
Not Venom.
Totally cool.
Not Venom.
Well, and because that's a Sony side of things. But like the big piece is, I think, on January 1st, when everything is all said and done,
when the ink starts to dry,
right, and then they can start having those meetings for realsies.
Yeah, not just like super closed doors.
Super closed doors, because if anybody knows they're talking, they're like in.
That actually might be legally.
Right, they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But have Ryan Reynolds and his team come in, and they're like, all right, where do you think? And Deadpool fits.
And Hugh Jackman is up to be another character, not Wolverine, so that would be interesting to see.
But yeah, that's the big piece is like, Ryan Reynolds, where do you fit? Can we do more of these PG-13 Deadpool movies?
Right.
Or, what's the shtick? And honestly, I feel like Ryan Reynolds, that was a piece too, that Deadpool 2, like the Christmas edition, the PG-13 edition, was, look, Disney, we can also be PG-13. Keep us around, please. But if they do bring Deadpool in as a rated R thing, all of a sudden that opens the door for them to go,
and they're still super okay with Disney is super okay with doing an R-rated thing,
just not attached to the Disney brand.
Yeah.
So maybe Deadpool stays like a Fox Marvel brand or something like that. Like they create another brand under Fox for that kind of stuff, like Marvel FX even, and go that direction for movies. And that's where we might see them in the films. And then, if they cross over, obviously the darker guys aren't going to cross over and just start shooting everybody and killing everything and like whatever.
Movie's over. Movie's over. We killed the bad guy. But
how are we going to stop this evil?
The Punisher's like,
done.
Got
He's
it.
like,
Got it.
Dealt with it, guys. Off he goes. Spider-Man's just like...
And the crazy part is that would happen in the comics.
And it does happen in the comics. I remember there was a piece where the best one was during Civil War. They brought in some of the bad, the not so bad guys, but some of the bad guys onto Cap's team. And one of them walks in and all of a sudden gets shot in the head. And it goes to the Punisher and he's like, I'm not working. We're like, no.
Yeah.
And Cap beats the living junk out of him. And he's like, they are on our side, like, for right now. And the Punisher goes through this whole, like, oh, man, I looked up to Cap. Like, Cap was my hero sort of thing. And I've let him down. How am I going to make this up to him? This whole shtick, like, I didn't mean to kill him. You know, he was a bad guy. I meant to take him out of the, like, I thought he was, So there was that cool conflict of whatever. And they could still pull that off in a PG-13 Marvel film.
Right.
Just not to the extent that they would pull it off in a Punisher standalone film.
Yeah.
So I think the ultimate question now lies is like, Jessica Jones,
knocking on one more season,
knocking on your door. Punisher, you got one more season, knocking on your door.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god.
And again with the Loki and the Scarlet Witch and like those kind of things getting announced for Disney Plus.
The Rocket and Groot show.
But that's the thing is like those kinds of things getting announced.
Yeah.
Does give credence to Kevin Feige is starting to just be like, I will take control of TV.
So I don't know how much that was in the negotiation process when because I know that they pitched season 4 for Daredevil.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine how much pull Kevin had when he was like in the room with Netflix. Like I've got this doing on like. You do this, we'll do this. You'll leave my characters alone, and I'll take them back. But you can still do the first 3 seasons on your show, like Netflix. You guys will have that. That's fine. But then I want my character back. I don't know.
We don't know.
Like we'll never know that conversation.
I think the streaming services now, because Disney owns so many of them, the deal was that like Netflix had the rights to these characters.
And this was a lot before Disney Play.
Right,
Disney
and
Plus
before their movies, but all of the Disney contracts pretty much said until we deem otherwise. And Netflix isn't going to stop. Like, they're sitting there going like, yes, sure,
yeah.
We'll take Star Wars until you want it back. Cool.
Yeah. I think, though, because they don't sign Netflix shows like they do regular TV shows. I think they have to sign them per episode.
It depends on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting forward for Netflix. And I think a lot of that has to do with brand confusion as well.
Part of it.
Because it's like now Netflix Netflix has these new shows coming out. Like think of a season 4 of Daredevil. Yeah. People will get that confused with
for sure.
coming up with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Granted, again, they're different mediums, they're different ratings.
I also have to laugh at this one. Netflix is raising their prices in Canada again.
Yeah.
They're like, we canceled Daredevil, and now you owe us another $2 a month or whatever it is. And everybody's like...
In all honesty, I can totally see why people are mad about this. Like, you're paying for Netflix, you're paying for your cable box, you're paying for internet, you're paying for all these other things. But I cut my cable like 10 plus years ago, so them raising Netflix prices $2 doesn't hit me as bad.
The biggest deal is we're getting to that point where to watch this show you need this streaming service, and this one you need this streaming service, and this one you need this streaming service, and everybody's just waiting for that time when they're like, if you get these 3 streaming services together, you get a bonus, and it's like cable.
Yeah, exactly. We're going into cable mode.
Yeah. Like we veered away, and now we're slowly like coming back this way, and they're actually seeing a rise in people pirating TV shows again because people are making it too hard to find them.
Yeah.
And it's like, like it's not like the music industry. They went from iTunes, which was easy, like pay 99 cents a song or $10 an album or whatever it is, get the album. Cool. To now legitimately like, I feel like listening to this song.
Spotify.
Click.
Yeah.
Spotify, Google Play Music, any of the like Apple Music streaming service, like all of those ones, it's like, click a button, listen to the song.
Yeah.
Like I don't even have to buy the album anymore. It's like, I can just listen to this song on repeat continually. Cool.
That's what I want.
I'd be interested to see what other properties that Netflix starts axing. Because if they start axing some of their own original content,
they have though, and I mean they always do depending on viewership.
Do.
But because I think Orange Is the New Black is done.
I think they ended on their own terms.
They did.
So that's a different story. Things
Hemlock Grove got canceled.
Hemlock Grove, six whatever, 7 cents something.
Sense8.
Sense8. Yeah, Sense8 was one of.
You were on the right track with the numbers in the thing, just the wrong. Yeah, Sense8.
Yeah,
that was just too expensive.
Yes, but exactly. So you get shows like that get axed.
But they're getting Narnia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're making a Narnia series, and then on to the next piece of news, I guess, to go with all of this is Roald Dahl, who made Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, BFG. I
heard you like some. Those are old books. Those are pretty good.
The guy wrote a bunch of really good kids books. Matilda.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get into it, and Netflix has gotten the rights to all of his stuff to make a connected universe Roald Dahl series.
Roald Dahl
animated.
Roald Dahl CU.
And it's all animated, which I think is really going to lend itself to
their animation studio at Netflix is pretty good. Like if
they do this one right, it's going to turn out really cool.
If Hilda is any indication, I'm totally ready for it.
Yeah.
And we still have a new Avatar series coming from them sometime at some point in time. We still have a second season of
Dragon Prince?
Yeah, we have another season of Dragon Prince on the way.
So that's my thing. Like, when I heard this one, I'm like, okay. Because, of course, it's like, well, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory gets remade again.
And
I'm like, but animated is a very different game than
the
original Gene Wilder.
You can do a lot of stuff.
And it was actually the Gene Wilder movie is the reason we didn't get a bunch of Roald Dahl stuff, because he hated it.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with his book other than there's an eccentric guy who owns a chocolate factory.
And weird things happen.
And some stuff sort of happens like it does in the book, but he hated that one, which is why I'm sitting there laughing going, so he probably liked the Johnny Depp one.
Because that was a little more closer to the book, right?
Other than the father stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty much a one for one, like, we're going to go to this room now, we're going to see what happens,
Yeah.
And then there was news that they were going to make another Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because why not? Donald Glover was going to be Willy Wonka.
That'd be interesting.
And to me, I'm like, I just want to see him being Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Willy Wonka. Not even screw the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. Like, really, like, I just I'd be interested in that. But now that they're like, oh, animated, I'm like, all right. And I mean, all of those things happen independently. Yeah. So if they're going to create a connected universe, that's where I'm like,
that's bold, though.
Don't make it, like, super connected. Just be like, oh,
I think
on this episode, like, Charlie's reading the newspaper and it's talking about a giant fish that's crossed the ocean.
So my issue with that is when developers or movie developers are like, oh, we're going to make, like, 3 of these movies, I feel like that's a big freaking risk. Exhibit A, Golden Compass.
Oh, yes.
Exhibit B, what's that Dennis Dyack game that really crashed and burned? Too Human.
Yeah.
Like, look at those things. They came out of the gate and saying, like, we're going to do so many of these. Here's the first one. And it's complete utter rubbish.
I think the piece here is they're like, we're making...
You always make it...
Roald Dahl shows based off the books.
Right. And
they'll be slightly connected. So you're going to get, like, a Matilda movie show, whatever it happens to be animated.
Right. But don't come out of the gate swinging and saying, like, look at all these things we're gonna.
And they haven't said what's what yet. They're just like, we've got the rights to Roald Dahl, and we're gonna be making like
do something with it,
a Roald Dahl universe event type thing. So whether that could mean 2 shows.
And even look at like something like the MCU and Iron Man and
they never announced anything.
They never thought first. They never like was fully explicit in saying like, we're gonna work our ways to the Avengers.
No, they never actually said that.
They didn't do that until like they didn't do that until like way later, until like probably after Thor.
Yeah,
I think they started putting those plans into motion.
And that really was. It was. If you look back and they're talking about it, they're like, if Iron Man worked, it was gonna be the start of a little something. You know, like let's pepper in little fun things.
Yeah.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, if Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America can all do well.
Yes.
We have the basis for at least an Avengers-esque type thing.
Yeah. And then they start realizing they don't have mutants or Spider-Man.
They made it work.
They made it work, and then they covered up, they patched it up with stucco and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a universe.
But yeah, so for Netflix with the Roald Dahl stuff,
I hope they don't go overly ambitious. Is my issue. My
from the sounds of it, like they're not even announcing what they're starting with this stuff. Like I think they'd be dumb to start with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I think they start with James and the Giant Peach.
And that one might not
that
be a
would
bad
be
one to start
That
with.
would be
or the BFG.
But that one just came out.
Yeah, that one did just come out.
That came out, and
right.
that was not very good.
I think
No,
you
it
either hit
wasn't.
like Matilda
Yeah.
or
Something that hasn't
James
been
and the
seen in a
Giant
while.
Peach.
Something that haven't been done in a long time.
Yeah.
But
or-
people still know.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Matilda, people know.
Peach.
James and the Giant Peach,
Peach,
people
they know.
know.
And you know what? That last film for James and the Giant Peach wasn't bad.
No, it was good.
It was
the
pretty
claymation,
cool.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
all
was
right.
the Tim
Stop-
Burton.
Yeah, it was a stop motion thing, and it was pretty good.
It was good.
I like.
So that's the piece is like, do you? Yeah, I think you go with one that's been done but hasn't been done in
Quite a bit of time.
A while.
But it's also it needs to be recognizable.
And that's the piece
Yes.
is you want people to go like, ooh, James and the Giant Peach, cool, click. Not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Didn't I just watch this one?
Yeah.
BFG wasn't that the
Wasn't that one that Steven Spielberg like pooped all over? Man, Spielberg.
he sometimes
Every once in a while, I think the idea up here doesn't quite reach.
Yeah, it doesn't make it.
and then sometimes you get Ready Player One.
And then all of a sudden you're
Yeah,
like,
Ready
this
Player
one worked for some weird reason, like way to be. But yeah, so yeah, Roald Dahl on Netflix. All the Marvel stuff slowly
Leaving.
leaving Netflix.
Leaving Netflix.
But
We've got your pour one out for the original. Well,
But
there's
in
one
my-
more Defender left.
yeah, in my mind, I think too, with this stuff, like I say, Narnia's coming to Netflix, so they are getting a Narnia series. We've got the series of unfortunate events.
We've got
If Netflix legit just keeps going to like kids books and
Kids
young
mid-
adult books and being like,
like
we will
we'll
take
do
a
this.
Golden Compass series on Netflix. I
Hel-
would
that
watch.
would work.
Hilda
that'd be good.
is a great comic book series for kids, for young
Yeah.
adults.
But yeah,
And
I would watch Golden Compass if Netflix were involved.
Yeah, and if they
Because when I saw the promos for that movie, I'm like, I've read those books, and this looks nothing like
it.
those books.
Mhm.
Like,
I still need to watch their Haunting of Hill.
Yeah, that's supposed to be
haven't
really
watched-
good.
I haven't
heard-
watched
I-
that
I
yet.
don't- I
gotta
don't-
wa- It's on my list.
Maybe I should put that on. Try it with VR.
they're doing a whole bunch of stuff with just even Christmas episodes this Christmas.
Yeah,
so, like
that,
Sabrina's
Sabrina's getting
getting
one,
a Christmas
yeah.
special.
I heard.
There's that Kurt Russell Santa Claus
That's
movie
out now.
from,
Christmas Chronicles.
I saw
or-
the list
Yeah.
of stuff that was happening in December, and I was really, really mad to see Black Mirror was not on the list because I was
That's
under
surprising.
I was under the assumption it was
Yeah.
dropping on December 26th this year, but I guess not.
But yeah, like like they've got a whole Christmas lineup of stuff to kind of compete with because I know the W network on cable is like the countdown to Christmas, which started in November,
Of course,
and
it
my
did.
PVR is
Well,
Christmas movies.
Christmas movies.
And every once in a while you get like a really good one, and I'm like, where did this one come from?
Yeah.
Like Diane Keaton, John Goodman, Olivia Wilde, Ed Helms, and I'm like. So I'm looking it up, and I'm like, oh, it came out 3 years ago, and no one watched it because it was a Christmas movie, so the W Network got it. Cool.
Cool.
Otherwise, yeah, it's like, I remember this person from one of those CW shows that had, like, they haven't been on TV in 800 years. Kudos to them, but Netflix all of a sudden's like, we've got Kurt Russell as Santa Claus. Isn't this neat, guys? Come watch it. And I'm like, oh my God! And they're like from the director of Home Alone, and I'm like,
what? Yeah, that show makes no sense.
don't care. Gonna watch.
Gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah,
that's
slower
well,
this week.
one big thing this week, and then everything else is kind
Some games. The Superman was supposedly being worked on by Rocksteady,
Yes.
and now isn't being worked
It's
on
not.
by Rocksteady.
well, that's a lie.
Right.
That's a lie.
So,
The PlayStation Classic, guys, is coming out next
yes.
week, I think. It's got only one game that I'm interested in on it. It's Cool Borders 2. Apparently, the emulator is they grabbed an open source emulator, slapped a Sony logo on it, and said ours.
Yep.
And that's legally they can do that.
Correct. It's open source. That's the whole point. We use open source software to broadcast this show.
Yeah.
Like,
Open source software is kind of everywhere.
Yeah. Thanks, OBS.
Thanks, Chrome.
Well, and the other piece too is, I guess, Anuma kind of teased Skyward Sword was being remade, and
yeah.
Nintendo's like, no, it's not. I think it is. I think that's one of those other ones where they're like, it's in the works. Shut
I'm
up.
surprised
Like,
there's
why
no
did you-
December direct for people to get hyped over Smash Brothers and
yeah,
in the
we're
future.
already there. It's sold everything already.
Do you think they do one like after Christmas, like shortly after, like on the 28th?
I think you almost bring one.
Or the 27th.
I don't know when you do it.
Would you wait until the new
and then
year?
just be like,
Maybe
because you kind of want to get people that have just got a Switch from Smash Brothers and Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah.
So you want to get people like you. I see you're all playing our great games. Look at what 2019 will have.
On the Switch, if you go on the Switch, it does have like holiday gift guide, what to buy, like for your gamer, for you to, and it's like that little news feed is the smartest thing for Nintendo in that way. I think
I remember when
Direct
Sony used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sony and Microsoft used to do that.
I think a new Direct, maybe right in the new year, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Give everybody kind of
breathing
Christmas
room.
To breathe, because it's like, again, you're gonna get it. You're gonna have Pokemon Let's Go. You're gonna have Smash Bros.
You're gonna have
Mario. Like if you're getting one, you're gonna have all these awesome.
You're gonna have a lot of
So maybe mid-January, you're like, guys, here's our preview for 2019.
Or it's like
they're coming out this year.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4.
Maybe
tomorrow. Tomorrow. What?
In all honesty, I would like another, and not exactly the same, but like other M-type game from Metroid, the 2D, 2.5D side.
Oh, that one, yeah. I know it's.
People didn't like the story, but the gameplay in it was.
Yeah.
Kick butt.
I didn't like the pixel hunting.
No, that was junk. They could get rid of that completely. That was just to be like, guys, remember Metroid Prime? This is kind of it, and it's no, because Prime was better. It never had me hunting for pixels. It was legitimately like, hit the scan button. It's like, see this computer?
No.
You can scan it, and it's like, oh. Whereas in other M, it's like, okay, I'm in first person mode. Why? And it's like, find the thing you're supposed to find, and I'm like, well, that thing over there looks like I should be looking at it. And it's like, you're right, but you're not quite looking in the right spot.
The hitboxes for those pixels were too small.
It was legit. Like, you had to find the pixel, not the cluster of them. Yeah, that part was dumb. But the overall, like, 2D gameplay experience, even in the 3DS game that they came out with, the Return of Samus remake.
Oh, yeah.
That was decent. If they could do another thing like that, that would be awesome. On the Switch.
Metroid Prime 4, though.
Yeah, Prime 4.
I'm looking at the still Prime 4.
Yep.
Take their time with it.
Yeah. So, either way, that's all the big news and movies and games and stuff this week.
If you liked what you saw here, subscribe to our channel, our multitude of places and buttons. And you push the button, subscribe on Twitch, subscribe on OopTube, subscribe on literally everything. All the mixers and the things and all the things you can do. You can follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on all sorts of social media devices that you can find at barrelrollnews.com. And if you liked what you saw here, stay tuned. In about 5 minutes, we're going to reset the hamster, start putting more caffeine in things, where we talk about games and movies we've done on our post-credit show, where we talk about all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Give us about 5 minutes to feed the hamster, or maybe get a new hamster. Either or
get
both.
A new wheel.
Or both.
Get a new wheel and a new hamster.
We'll stop the hamster from eating the other hamster. No, bad. Ladies and gentlemen, goodbye. See you soon.